Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here.
Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel, Fantasy Lorenzo.
Wait, what did you say?
Fantasy Lorenzo.
Have a good one.
You guys better subscribe and watch my friend on his YouTube channel. He is kicking ass.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you another review of this week's episode of Legacies on the CW, which was episode 3 of season 1, called We're Being Punked, Pedro. So not actually this week's episode, more so last week's, or a few days ago on Friday, I guess. Apologizing for the lateness of this review. But I have like 5 or 6 shows I'm watching in my free time, then add another 3 or 4 to that are airing week to week right now. So yeah, I've been a little overwhelmed lately, but I feel like I owe it to Legacies and kind of the TVD Originals world in general to keep up on this as much as I can. And the community, the fan base seems pretty divided on the show right now. Some seem to like it, once in a while there's a couple who love it, and then there's a portion that seem to really dislike it right now. I'm still kind of on the fence. I'm still kind of letting it go to see what happens. But I'm more so on the side of liking it, honestly. I mean, it probably helps that I actually do like Danielle Rose Russell quite a bit, or at least think she's really growing into the role. Her and Lark are definitely the best parts of the show in terms of character and acting. They're trying to do a little bit more with this episode. But the fact is that there's just some supporting characters or actors that just don't really quite hit that same note. We'll talk more about that throughout this video. But this week's episode might have been the best of the show so far, I guess, out of the 3, maybe. At least Gargoyle sort of fits a little bit more closely into what we know this world for than like a dragon. So at least it's a little bit closer to home, I guess. I mean, I did like the opening scene of the gargoyle, slaughtering the people, on the road and everything in the past. There was a little more blood in that scene than I expected, so, that was good. And, the gargoyle itself looked pretty good, I guess. And, Lark trying to uncover, the ghoulish, the whole, translation thing for the episode was alright. Probably the weakest part of the episode, though, is probably Landon and Raphael being on their own. I don't mind Raphael so much, I guess. Both still need to be more interesting to me, but Landon, I don't know. I don't know if it's the way the character's written right now, or I think I don't want to bash the actor too much. He just comes across kind of bland and dull to me. He feels like he should be more like a supporting, minor, reoccurring type of character to me. I just don't really feel pulled in by him enough to see him as like this epic love for Hope or something. It just doesn't feel to that level to me, and they're trying to make us really care about will they or won't they, and I don't. I've seen some people already supporting the idea of Hosey or Hope and Josie. I think it's a little too early to say, but we do know Josie is at least bisexual and everything, and maybe Hope is too. I don't know, they had a bond that was kind of formed in this episode. I felt like it was a little bit rushed on that end. If they go that route, I think it'd be more interesting than Landon and Hope, honestly. I don't know, like, there's a novelty to it because Klaus actually seen Hope, dancing with Landon that night and everything. But at the same time, I feel like if Klaus was in one of his worst moods, then he would say Hope can do better. I don't know. So that part was alright. Once Hope and Alaric actually got back to the school and helped take on the gargoyle themselves, it definitely picked up. And I like Hope's advice after talking to Josie of pretty much letting them all in on everything. I like Alaric's speech at the end. That was probably good. That definitely raised the episode a little bit for me. But besides the Landon thing, the other weakest part of the episode was probably Lizzie. I want to like the actress. I can tell she seems to be putting effort into her performance, but her whole breakdown, it didn't come off like fully. I don't know. Something was off about it. It didn't really pull me in the way she was trying to, and it didn't feel like she was quite hitting that note she was trying to reach for. I don't know. Given time, maybe these actors will mature and grow, but for now, definitely still relying on Lark and Hope. Like, what am I looking for? Like, crutches. Yes. But yeah, what came of the Landon Raphael thing? At least we've seen that cameo by Jeremy, Stephen McQueen, Stephen R. McQueen, excuse me. That was pretty good. He just says he does these little jobs for Alaric from time to time, and he was told to keep an eye on him. So he kind of protects them from werewolf hunters here. Would have been nice if we actually seen him kill him, but we just, they wake up and they see him dead, and then Jeremy takes his hood off and everything. So I'm guessing I'll see Jeremy maybe a couple times periodically going forward. I would like more from this appearance here, but it looks like we'll be seeing Matt next week instead, and that's, That's another one of those characters from the original show that would have actually been dead pretty soon into it, but for some reason they kept him alive the whole time. I don't know. Anyway, I did like Hope talking about her Aunt Freya teaching her the spell and everything. That was a nice callback, I guess, to hearing the name Freya. I do hope we see Marcel at some point in this season as well. With him promising that he would be there for Hope if she even whispered his name. So I'm hoping that actually comes up. But yeah, I like the gargoyle action. It wasn't bad. I like Lark exploring the reasoning for it all. And again, I think Danielle Rose Russell is coming to her own a little bit more in the role. She has a little of a personality and fire to her, but at the same time, she's grounded and she wants to sort of be different, I guess. And it's working fairly well on her end anyway. So yeah, overall I'm rating this episode about an 8.4, 8.5 out of 10, which is still fairly good rating. Yeah, still kind of lukewarm on it, but I see some qualities to it I like. I just don't really care for the whole MG girl being fed on thing with the other random guy who is playing the sport or whatever. I don't know. Some parts I don't really care for as much, but the main part of it, the main aspect, the main characters are working. So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.